Hey guys, LadyLibertyStacker back for another video. Today I want to share with you some clips that run from before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas all the way through the first week of January of restoring this pan that I've had in my collection for the past 2.5 years or so. Got it in, I think, 2017 or 2018, somewhere. I don't remember exactly if I got it from an antique mall. It is a number 7, and you can see from the well-developed pour spouts and the thin side walls of the pan that it must be a Griswold. Yes, it is. It is a small logo Griswold, and this pan had severe warts on the back. You can see that I got most of them off as much as possible. You can hardly see it now. This has about 3 coats of seasoning on, and the more I season it, the blacker it's going to get, and you really can't see these warts. It's very smooth, and you can see the defined handle here. But I went back and did my revised technique from interchangeably putting a pan in the lye bath and then in vinegar, scrubbing in between, soaking in between, going back and forth until everything is off that it can be removed. Now, not everything can be removed in these pans. You still have some discoloration here. But if you remember correctly, this was the favorite skillet I have for scrambling eggs and omelets and such. So I'm going to go ahead and break this pan in. You've seen this before, nothing new here. But the video clips that you're going to see have been sped up. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a voiceover on editing them, but I have to speed it up. You're never going to watch the whole thing. So I probably will just speed it up. But what it shows is this pan going from lye first, soaking in lye. I take it out, I scrub it, put it into the vinegar soak, scrub it, and just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And the only way, so you guys don't go crazy, is to speed it up. I probably did it a half dozen times, but that's what it takes when you're not using electrolysis to restore it. And I don't mind. I have so many other things going that the majority of the time isn't in the scrubbing. It's in the soaking time in the various lye and vinegar. One caveat, you can do multiple pans in lye at one time, but you cannot do multiple pans in a vinegar bath because if they touch each other, then it may leave unsightly marks on your pan. So you need to do those separately, and it's no big deal. You just do it. But I would just go back and forth, but I would thoroughly rinse and scrub down with soap. Each time I would transfer it from one to the other, because if you don't do this, you'll neutralize your lye bath, or you can make your vinegar bath ineffective, because as everybody knows that watches these videos, vinegar neutralizes lye. So anyway, that's what's going to follow. This thing is warming up gradually, and I'm going to cook breakfast, but I wanted to share this clip with you and what is to follow of things I've already done, but it's sped up so you guys can enjoy the process without becoming too bored. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it, and here comes a clip. Hey guys, LadyLibertyStacker here. It is Monday, December 23rd, 2019, and I'm back at ya with another video. This one is going to involve restoring these 2 pans that you see in front of you. This one is one I've had for a while. I just have some new methods of using lye and vinegar interchangeably, just one to the other and back and forth, to remove stubborn seasoning. And I want to try it in this pan. This is a pan in my own collection. It's one of my favorites. I use it for scrambled eggs and omelets. It's just terrific. It never sticks, even with the minimal amount of cooking spray or oil, minimal cooking spray or oil. Anyway, this is a small logo Griswold, number 7. And I still can't stand the way the back looks. It just drives me crazy. And so I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to try to get this off. And it's warm enough where the lye will still be fairly effective. Lye tends to work better when the temperatures are warmer. I have it out in my garage, but it's pretty mild where I am today. So this is going to go in the lye tank, and we're going to start the restoration process again. And we're just going to try to get all this stubborn seasoning off. I have one pan that's listed right now in my online store that's not moving at all. Of course, it's a more common size, but possibly it's because there is an ugly wart in the back. I'm going to see if this one works. on this skillet here. And I'm sure I can get it to look a little bit better, but there's a lot of stubborn seasoning in the back. And now that I've got this process tweaked, we're going to try it again. So this is a small logo Griswold, and these are terrific cookers. They were made probably about 1950 to 1957. The next up is something I found yesterday. I went antiquing, or actually just outsourcing. I made a quick couple of stops at some local antique malls in my neck of the woods. And this one I found, this one actually is, if you look at the back, it's an unmarked, I believe it is an unmarked 3-notch Lodge. It has crud on it and buildup, but it tested flat. It passed the ring test, but we don't know for sure until I strip it. It has the flat handle that goes right into the sidewall, which is trademark of Lodge. I found one just like this, but it was a little cleaner back in September when Mom and I, did one of those one-tank trips out of the area. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and strip this and bring this back to life. And it has no spin to it. It's relatively flat. It's pretty flat. It's hard to tell for sure with all the crud on it. But we're going to put it into a lye tank and go back and forth between lye and vinegar. And I'm showing you this right now. And by the time you're actually you watch the video, it's probably going to be late December, early January when I get it done. Or I come to the next stage in the process because we're coming up onto Christmas. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do here is restore these two. This one I have and just used today for breakfast. This one I got yesterday on December 22nd. Paid negotiated price of $5. $5. I knew exactly what the pan was. I told him, it's unmarked, it's rusty. What's the best you can do? And he said $5. I said sold. Hey guys, I'm back. It's the day after Christmas, and I'm going to go ahead and grab these skillets out of my lye bath, which is in the garage. I set it up in April of this year, and it's still good for about a year. So we're going to go ahead and let me see if I can just lift this so you can
do one. And I have my 7-quart drip pan I got from the dollar store, and we're going to go ahead and take these skillets out, and we can see what we've got. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take them both out. And I'm going to go ahead and put the larger one in the bottom. There's 2 of them in here. You can put as many as you want in your lye tank, just so the lye covers the skillet. And it's got some crud on here. It's hard to see, but we're going to go ahead and put it in the drip pan. I'm going to go ahead and set it up here. And we're going to take the other one out as well. We're going to give them a scrub down, and we have to make a decision if we're going to put them back in here or we're going to put them in vinegar. So we're going to go ahead, and here they are. It's hard to see out here, so let me be back, once I get into the house downstairs with my wash bins downstairs. Okay, I'm downstairs in the basement, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at each of these right now. They're still right out of the lye tank, and let me see if you can actually see this. You can see this is the number 7 small logo Griswold, and I couldn't get off all that carbonized seasoning before. We're going to see how we're doing now. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to rinse it in here, and you can see all the dark coming off. I put it into vinegar yet. We're going to use vinegar to neutralize it, and we're going to scrub it off, and we're going to just keep putting it back into lye until we can get it clean. This one is the 3-notch Lodge, and you can see it has a lot of rust on it. It's got old baked seasoning on it, and you can see it. And we're going to go ahead and rinse that off. So anyway, we are going to rinse off the drip pan first, because we're going to reuse it. And we're going to rinse it off good, rinse off the gloves. You always want to rinse when you're at this stage of the game. Okay, I'm going to wipe off the washing machine with the lye, but we're going to rinse off the skillet now. Have the old crud softened. It comes right off of there. And we are going to, some of it's still in pieces, but it's small enough to rinse away. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and do the 7-ouncer first. And we're going to see how it does this step of the game. So here we go. And you're going to tackle this layer of stubborn seasoning. If you recall, this is my favorite go-to pan for omelets and eggs, and it looks like it's coming off. And you just need some patience with this. This can be every bit as effective as electrolysis. Electrolysis has its own set of pros and cons. I just think you just need to be aware of what they are, whatever you do. You just need patience with this. I have so many other projects going on that I don't mind the soaking time in between scrubbings to get all this stuff off. And I'm just going to make sure it just comes totally clean. This is just the greatest skillet. And it always bugged me, now that I've gotten this kind of seasoning off with my last two skillets, which were a number 7 unmarked Wagner with a heat ring, and a number 8 small logo Griswold, and they had a lot of that stubborn seasoning on the pan. Got it off, sold them both within a week at my top asking price. So people are willing to pay if this stuff looks good, and it's a good skillet. But not everybody's willing to do this to refinish them. So we're going to take a look, and we're going to stick this back into lye, I think one more time. And lye does not remove rust. You can see here, it's really coming off, and it's looking really good. So we're going to go ahead and just, I'm going to go ahead and scrub this part too, so you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to redo the pan. You want to make sure it's uniform on the bottom and on the cooking surface, on the inside, interior walls and such. You can do this and maybe restrip your pans or redo them if you don't like the way you did it when you first did it. Because there's a lot of people that watch my channel that are new to cast iron or newer collectors, and they want to learn how to do this. And, you know, there's no harm in starting over again. There is not. I mean, you know, it's no big deal. This will not destroy cast iron. I'm going to make sure to get all the old carbon out of our Brillo pad. You can see it coming off of there. And I'm going to go ahead and rinse it out of the skillet. And there it is. Okay, so now we're going to put it here. We're going to do the second one. We're going to go ahead and give it a rinse. We're going to go ahead and do the inside. You can see it's got a lot of stuff there. Now, lye doesn't remove rust, per se. But, you know, if it's really bad rust, you have to soak it in vinegar. But if you soak it long enough and you have some elbow grease in between the soakings, you can deal with a lot of the rust. You really can. And a lot of this is coming off. You can see how this is all turning murky colored. You know, brownish, orangish color. That's the rust and the old seasoning. And you can feel it on the sidewalls. This pan was very stubborn. I don't think it has any cracks to it. A lot of times you don't know for sure until you strip it down. This is going to probably go back in lye, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to rinse it out. Okay, here is our, you can see how all the stuff come off of that. And here, look at that. It's going to come out of the interior of the skillet. I'm going to put it back into lye. Lye seems to be doing pretty well. It's kind of warm where I am right now, so lye can be effective. All right, now, that's what we're looking at so far. Oops, I got to get that off. I didn't rinse that off. Now, I haven't taken this out of the lye bath since it's been put in. So I put this in a few days ago when I started the video before Christmas. And then I just got busy, so I didn't really want to deal with it because I had a lot of preparations to do. Because I had I hosted part of it myself. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to scrub the bottom. And we're going to see, it's kind of rough still. This one was really kind of rough. Even though I got it in an antique mall, the guy was willing to give me a deal, $5. That's cheap for an antique mall. But he realized it was unmarked. I knew what it was. So if you know your cast iron, if you want to get a really good deal, you can say, oh, this is covered with crud and rust. You know, what will you do? I don't know what it is. It's unmarked. You just play dumb. And a lot of these, you know, vendor booze, these people with booze that bring in cast iron, they don't know cast iron. You probably know it better than they do. You're watching, you know, these videos and educating yourself. And, yeah. So here we are. You can get a good deal. And we're going to go ahead and, boy, a lot of stuff came off of that one. Whoa, wait. I like doing this, though. I really enjoy it. I love seeing these old beauties come back to life. And this one's going to need some more soaking. Now, electrolysis, granted, is faster, but there's other things with electrolysis that you have to be aware of. We'll see how this one strips up. I'm going to go ahead and rinse out our drip pan again. Get everything out of there. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and stick this guy into vinegar. Because there's a little bit of rust still on him, but it is a lodge. It's not marked. It's a number 8. I don't know if you can see that there. Number 8 right here, where my thumb is. And it has a maker's mark of 3. I don't know if it's the third shift or what. But yeah, this will clean up for sure. It just needs more soaking. I don't see any cracks. it's got some rust to come off of this, so we're going to put it into vinegar. We're going to put it down here. I'll tilt the camera up so you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. There it is. That is the 8. Then this one, I don't like to put both in the vinegar bath at one time, because if they do rub against each other, they will leave a mark on the skillets, whereas in lye, they will not. You can put as many as your lye solution will cover. So we're going to go ahead and put this back into the lye tank. And as you can see, it's really, really taken off that stubborn seasoning, but we want to soften it up some more and then scrub it some more and go from there. So that's what we're going to do, and I will be back. Okay guys, I am back. The skillets have been stripped. This is the 3-notch. It's still, I just sprayed it down with my non-GMO canola oil cooking spray to prevent flash rust, but it's all done. You can see I got most of the crud off. A little bit of discoloration exists, but with seasoning it'll blend in. And here is the other side of the pan. Actually, very nice. Just a little bit around the edge is still on. At this point in time, I wasn't really going to worry about getting it all off, but you can see, as I rub it with a paper towel, no lint sticks. The oil is just drying on the skillet. Now we have the number 7 Griswold from my own collection down to gunmetal gray, and it took off most of the carbonized warts with my new updated techniques. And here it is here. I sprayed this down probably a few days ago. The side is still a little rough because I never wire wheeled this one. But it'll be fine. We're going to go ahead and season this up. This is nice and smooth. Very, very smooth. You can still see evidence of the utensils at the bottom. Wire wheeling would get rid of those. And there is the number 7. So, yeah, this one is all ready to go to be seasoned. And then this is the... Okay guys, I am back. Here are the 3 skillets that we started in this video with 3 coats of seasoning on. The first one, or number 3. Next up is my Griswold small logo number 7. And if you can remember, I had a bunch of crud on here. You can still see some of the discoloration. So I probably will give this a 4th and a 5th coat because I am OCD about how my skillets look. But this was the favorite one in my collection. It just did a wonderful job on scrambled eggs and omelets. And there it is in the middle. And I did wire wheel this initially, just try to get all of this off. Not now, but 2 years ago when I was relatively new to cast iron. But as you can see, it holds the seasoning just fine. And I did it where you really couldn't see the swirl marks. It's beautiful, but I did do it. I don't remember a lot, but just some to try to smooth off this down here because I wanted a smooth cooking surface. And it really has benefited me in this situation. So that is my small logo Griswold, which was in my collection now for at least a couple of years. And then finally, the new Acquire 3-notch Lodge, number 8. We can see that there. And this had a bunch of crud and rust on it. It was really nasty, real nasty. Cleaned it up gorgeous. Just went back and forth from lye to vinegar. And usually I would just take it out of lye, scrub it, put it back into lye, take it out of lye, scrub it, put it back into lye. And, you know, it didn't take all that long, but the soaking time. But I have so many other projects that I'm working on, it doesn't bother me. I just like it when I get them real good. Now, once I list this, it probably won't be around all that long. They usually sell within the first month. But yep, that's number 8, and you can still see some discoloration there. I did not take a wire wheel to this. There's some utensil marks you can see ever so slightly there. Collectors like to see that on the cast iron. That's their assurance the thing hasn't been wheeled. But anyway, this is the 3-notch Lodge, number 8. And believe it or not, these are collectible. I've already sold one for about $80 shipped. It was in a little bit better condition. Well, actually, it was in the same condition. It just had